If your hair is thinning, breaking, or just simply not growing like it used to, it's not your products, it's not genetics. It may just be something that you're doing every single day without even realizing it.
I am back! What it do, baby?
Today, we're going to expose the truth about DHT. DHT is the silent hormone blocking your hair growth. Right now, I'm breaking down all the habits, and yes, that includes your braids, your protective styles, the oils, the greases, wet hair, your wash and goes. They all are actually feeding the problem instead of fixing them or making a routine that makes it easier to manage them or prevent it altogether. So what is DHT? DHT stands for dihydrotestosterone. This is a supercharged version of testosterone, and your body makes this using the 5-alpha reductase enzyme. This is essential for things like male development, maintaining libido and muscle growth. And one of the most important things that I'm gonna ride on and stay on today is regulating your body's sebum production. And for all of the women who believe that their bodies don't produce oil, sebum is the natural oil that your body produces in the sebaceous gland. And this is a problem, and it's actually the #1 cause behind androgenetic alopecia, or androgenetic female or male pattern baldness. So how exactly does DHT affect your hair and your hair growth cycle, and how exactly does it happen? DHT binds to the androgen receptors within the hair's follicle. It shrinks them during a process called miniaturization. Video link in the description box below. I told y'all better pay attention. Y'all be listening to people that say I'm making things up. Miniaturization is a real thing. Let's keep going.
Here is a healthy head of hair. As we zoom in, you can see a healthy hair follicle. Your hair grows from the dermal papilla at the base of the hair follicle. You can see the capillaries carrying blood to the androgen receptors, which is where the oxygen, nutrients, and energy flow into the androgen receptors. The yellow particles represent necessary oxygen, nutrients, and energy, which flow into the androgen receptors, passing through the cells to produce nutrients and energy for your hair to grow. Major cause of hair loss is DHT, dihydrotestosterone. As we zoom in, you can see the circular androgen receptors and blood vessels flowing, but the DHT, as seen here in green, is blocking the flow of the capillaries and blood supply to the androgen receptors. Once DHT binds to the androgen receptors, the receptors are no longer able to receive nutrients and energy, which is essential for healthy hair growth. As the DHT continues to cut off the flow of oxygen, nutrients, and energy, the hair miniaturizes, becomes dormant, and eventually dies.
And for that reason, your hair is gonna grow back in. Even if it falls out, it'll grow back in weaker, thinner, and eventually down the line, your hair is gonna simply stop growing altogether. Another thing, the hair growth phase could be shortened, pushing the body, or the scalp, I should say, the follicle into telogen effluvium, which is the resting stage of the hair growth cycle, but your hair is only supposed to be there for a short amount of time. Link in the description box below where I broke that down. This is really messed up because you won't notice hair growth because the actual hair growth phase is going to be shortened, and then the resting phase where your hair isn't doing anything, the follicle isn't doing anything, there's no growth or anything, that's going to be extended. Not a good deal. You'll also notice the hairline receding, going a little bit further back, edges becoming non-existent. Density of your hair slowly fades away. Make sure you check the video in the description box below, part 1, where I'll talk about density. If you're genetically sensitive to DHT because of generational habits or different illnesses that are passed down, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video, it may hit you even harder. So what are some signs that DHT is affecting your hair? First, you'll notice thinning around your edges and your crown. Sudden hair loss after starting new workouts or introducing new supplements to your diet. Supplements is a whole nother conversation. Also notice a lot more shedding, especially in the shower when you're shampooing your hair. greasy and extremely itchy scalp. And you'll also notice a whole lot of breakage along the roots. Even though DHT is internal, it's an internal thing with your hormones, there are certain things that you do on the outside of the body that can increase this. Your daily habits can make it more aggressive, it can trigger it, or it can even leave it trapped within the hair follicle. Number one is going to be heavy oils, butters, greases, and things of that nature. These different things, sweat, sebum, dirt, bacteria, yeast, creates buildup and traps DHT at the root of your follicle. This also is going to lead to inflammation from the pore clogging. We've talked about that in the videos in the description box, so let's keep going. Number two is going to be leaving hair wet for long periods of time. A wet scalp, a wet warm scalp equals a party for the bacteria. They having a party, twerking. So keep in mind that fungal infections, inflammation, and irritation is going to irritate and weaken the hair follicle that is already has DHT trapped within it. But I digress. Let's keep building. Let's make it make sense. Number three is going to be tight braids, ponytails, and styles. Constant pulling and tension equals traction alopecia. We talk about that in the video below. Now, when you pair the traction alopecia with the DHT buildup that's trapped within the follicle and all of the things, this is when you will start noticing patchy bald spots, thinning, and all of the things. We'll talk about protective styles in a whole nother video, but most of y'all don't understand, your protective styles should not be the primary thing that you wear. Your protective style should be when you going on vacation and your hair need protection. You know what I'm saying? I digress. Video coming soon. Let me know if you want me to dive deeper into protective styles in the comments. Number four is infrequent washing, infrequent shampooing. I'm going to clip in this one comment in a second, but we'll get to that in a second. But infrequent washing is crazy. Understand that the DHT binds to the oils and the dirt that are trapped in the scalp. Remember, DHT binds to the follicle. It's binding to all of the things that you think is really helping your hair. That's why countless women are noticing so much hair growth and all of the different things that are causing the balding and all of the different reactions are completely gone when they stop oiling the scalp because of these things. But let's keep on putting these layers on. So not shampooing the hair properly, the DHT is going to sit on the scalp, sit in the follicle, and it's just going to build up and accumulate with the rest of the yeast and bacteria and the oils and greases that you're putting there. It is absolute insanity, the things that people are doing. So it's crazy that we're like doing all of these things to block DHT when all of your patterns are causing the DHT to intensify and worsen. Now, this next part, a lot of people are not going to want to hear, but I really don't care. When it comes to putting oil on the ends, one thing that I always hear from people when we're talking about oil and grease in the scalp, like y'all are so like mind bent on putting oil and greases on the scalp that you'll be like, oh, well, I don't do nothing. I just put it on my ends. I don't put oil on my hair or on my scalp. I just put the oil on my ends, and it's crazy. I don't know why my ends is so dry. I'm always putting the oil on my ends, and my ends are still so dry. Girl, your hair is dry because you keep putting the oil on your ends. Let's keep going, because I'm gonna break that down too. And listen, I already know, I know you're not gonna like this. And guess what? I don't know what your name is, but let me tell you something. So let's be honest, putting oil on your dry ends isn't moisturizing anything. It's just sealing in whatever the property of your hair is at that moment. Dry. So it really doesn't make sense. So let's keep going. Oils are not moisturizers, they're sealants. Heavy oils on the ends block sebum from ever touching your hair. Heavy oils on the hair Even on the ends, it blocks the sebum from ever reaching your hair. I need you to understand that it's like, oh, I'm just gonna put the stuff on my ends until the sebum makes it there, but you've put a sealant on the ends. So because you've already put the sealant there, once the sebum makes it down to your ends, it can't get through the sealant, the oil that you've put there. It's a wax. It's not gonna make it through the sealant. So this is why putting oil on your ends makes no sense. And the reason that you're constantly putting oil on your ends is because you're constantly putting a sealant there. So your whole hair shaft will be good, but your ends are dry and crispy because you keep putting a sealant on them. So next up, let's hit it internally, right? Ooh, let's hit it. Let's get to it internally. What raises DHT within the body? These are the habits that increase DHT within the body, and by it increasing this DHT within the body, these are the habits that are boosting the testosterone in your body that's causing an influx of DHT. One is going to be high sugar, insulin spiking food. A lot of you are taking supplements, and the majority of you need to stop. These type of supplements really do cause an influx of DHT within the body. Sidebar really quick, I'm not gonna dive too deep into supplements, because at the end of the day, if you have not got blood work done, if you have not been to a dermatologist or a doctor to test your blood and your urine and all of that, if you don't know what you're deficient in, you shouldn't be taking any supplements. And most of you don't understand that you're causing your own issues, and most of you are spiking your own DHT levels by taking supplements that your body doesn't need. For example, you've never been tested, so you don't know what your body is deficient in, but there's this viral supplement that is iron, and you heard that black women don't produce iron, so this viral supplement is making everybody's hair grow, and then you start taking it every day, and you end up turning over something really, really bad and end up increasing DHT, or so many other different things that you can do within the body, because you're giving your body something that it doesn't need. Your issue could possibly be that your body's producing too much iron, and then you go and get a supplement just because everybody told you to get one without getting your blood work done and things of that nature, and then there you go, bald head. So I need y'all to understand, y'all dermatologist is not who you go to. Oh, I'm bald now, what do you put on it? No, the dermatologist is the person that you go to get your blood work done and all of the things, so they can see what's going on. They do a scalp biopsy to take a sample of your scalp, to put it under a microscope to see what bacteria is there, and give you a regimen to kill it. But it's up to you to figure out what routines and what patterns you can adapt so that you won't have an overgrowth of that bacteria again from different spikes of DHT. But I digress. Let's keep going. Chronic stress or a lack of sleep. If your sleep patterns are thrown off, your DHT is going to spike. Your hormonal changes are widely going to affect this. Overtraining with no recovery. So if you're kind of going too hard within the gym, you may put stress on your body that triggers certain responses that end up increasing the levels of DHT that attack the follicle, bind to it, all of the jazz. Next up is going to be steroids or unbalanced hormone therapy that can also really, really increase the DHT in the body. We have a couple of different natural DHT blockers. My favorite is saw Plamentto. It's saw Plamentto and green tea. I have a video on both of them in the description box below, so I'll leave them there, but let's hop into my computer to talk a little bit more about them. So how does saw Plamentto work? Saw Plamentto is a natural DHT blocker. It mainly works in two ways. Number one, it inhibits the 5-reductate enzymes. This is an enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT. And by blocking this enzyme, saw Plamentto lowers DHT production. And number two, it prevents DHT from binding to reductors in the first place. So even the DHT that does get produced can't bind to the follicle as easily because Plamentto interferes with the connection. So the follicle doesn't shrink and die off as quickly. So you can ingest it, which is what I prefer and recommend, but you can also take them both topically. So make sure you head over to the link in the description box so you can check out my blog post that goes even deeper into Plamentto, how it helps, how to use it, where you can get it from, and it'll give you a little bit more information on number 2, the number 2 herb that I love for blocking and lowering DHT production. But let's keep going. Even though DHT sounds like a horror thing, at the end of the day, it is so important to learn your body systems and stop going on YouTube looking for a different hack every 5 minutes, because I don't care what you purchase in a bottle, it is not going to change what the body does naturally, converting testosterone into DHT. It doesn't change any of those things. It is all about your patterns and your habits and the things that you're doing, right? So again, I really hope that that made sense. And if you want to get your hands on any of the things within the Apothecary that we have to help you manage your DHT levels, then make sure you check the video link. Make sure you check the link in the description box below and shop the Apothecary. All right, I really hope that that makes sense. Getting DHT handled and in check and balance is going to be literally one of the best things you can do.